What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the
Piledriver.
Yeah, baby. But man, we are here after an action-packed weekend of wrestling.
What a weekend it was, man. Like, so much went down. You had pay-per-views basically from every brand.
We were spoiled.
Yeah, this weekend we were definitely spoiled this weekend. We got a lot to talk about, so let's just jump right into it. So we're going to start off with NXT 2.0 Worlds Collide. So basically what this seemed to me, I haven't been watching a lot of NXT. NXT has not been appealing to me basically at all. But this was basically NXT UK is over and done with.
Yeah.
So they're taking all their belts and unifying them with NXT belts. Some matches we had on there were good. Some matches weren't even, for a unification, so to speak. Such as, in my opinion, the best match on the card. It was Ricochet going against Carmelo Hayes for the NXT North American Championship. That's how they started the show.
And I really thought Ricochet was going to take that.
I thought he was going to too, but Carmelo Hayes is a stud, bro.
He is.
He's a super stud.
I love the whole hanging in the rafters everyone he beats.
Oh, yeah. Well, he came out in a jersey with everybody that he's beaten on it. Like you know how we have our jersey with all our quarterbacks? Yeah, he came out with a jersey like that with everybody he's beaten.
That's sweet.
It was a great match. They set the bar real high for the show. Carmelo Hayes did get the win. He did pull off the win. He's still the North American champion. It was, and like I said, in my opinion, it was the best match of the night.
I didn't get to watch any of it. I was actually house sitting out in the country. Had no service really, so I couldn't watch any of the pay-per-views this weekend, but I did follow closely on my phone. We
were at Little Jay's house with Yo Paulie the Hammer, and we watched, basically we were there from 4:30 in the afternoon on Sunday to 1 o'clock in the morning watching AEW last night. It was good, but it was a lot of wrestling. It was a lot packed into one day for sure. You had a unification match coming in next. UK or the NXT Tag Team Champions, the Creed Brothers, the NXT UK Tag Team Champions, Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. Yeah. Then you had Pretty Deadly and Gallus battle for the fatal four-way for the unification tag team titles.
Every title on NXT UK is gorgeous. By the way.
The NXT UK titles are some of the prettiest titles I've seen. And I actually have something in my notes that I want to talk to you about a little bit later about titles.
Are great too.
Well, it's about titles, and I want to talk to you about titles.
Okay.
But we got I don't know how I feel about this. Pretty Deadly won, okay? And they're a solid tag team. They really remind me of, they got a Velveteen Dream style character. Like their outfits, their mannerisms, etc. I don't know. I'm not really feeling them yet. I'm not behind them. I would have been okay with the Creed brothers retaining, but this was the only NXT UK win, so to speak, of the night. Was Pretty Deadly. I'm
not really behind them either. I never have been.
Yeah,
I'm trying to give everybody an NXT 2.0 a chance.
After the show on the Worlds Collide, I will say that maybe with Triple H, it can go back to being better. Because there were some solid moments, like the next match. The triple threat for the women's title, the unification.
I heard it was good.
With Mandy Rose, Blair Davenport, and Miko Satomura was an awesome match. I loved it. There was a couple spots where obviously there was botches, so to speak, And then, of course, me and Paulie got into it because
why?
Women's wrestling. And I'm like, Lil Jay said something about it too. And he was like, this is why people hate on women's wrestling, because they mess up a lot.
Paulie didn't like that?
Of course Paulie didn't like that. He got mad.
What did he say?
He got I can't remember exactly what he said verbatim, but he got up and made a motion to explain himself to Little Jay. It was a good match. You got to put some respect on her name, though. She is the unified women's champion now. Mandy frickin' Rose. She's a beast, dude. She looked amazing in her
Did you ever feel this way about her when she was on the main roster?
You said what now?
Did you always feel that way? Like she's a beast?
No.
When she was on the main roster?
No. 100%. When she was on the main roster, what was the name of the group she was in? It was Paige, her, and somebody else, right?
Sonya Deville.
Yeah. And they had, I can't remember the name of the group, Redemption or something like that. No. I'm going to Google. But.
Damn, that's going to bother me.
I'm looking it up right now.
Something simple, dude. Once you say it, I'm like. Start with an A? Absolution.
Is it? No.
I think it's Absolution.
What the heck? It doesn't say.
It doesn't say?
It just says they're coming back with a group. Like, and then starts talking about Alberto Del Rio. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville were Fire and Desire.
Yeah. But when it was Mandy, Paige.
It was Absolution.
Yeah.
You're right. It was Absolution. But yeah, I'd never thought that way about, like, in Absolution, Mandy Rose was the weak link.
Yeah.
So now for me to, completely flip-flop. And I mean, because she did what she said she was going to do, bro. She went back down to NXT. She honed her craft. She got to be a better wrestler.
Yeah.
She won the title and she's put on a hell of a reign. I think she has the second longest reign behind Charlotte Flair.
That's crazy.
Like, as the NXT Women's Champion.
That's why I was about to say, like, I think this move for her was the best thing she could have done for her career.
Oh, yeah. She looked amazing last night. Like, she's got the brown hair going now. She had like this American flag, almost Cody Rhodes-esque style, jacket and outfit on. And then she had this American flag aviators like you and I would have wore at a 4th of July party in 2010. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, she looked great, though. And then she came out and put on a great match and won. I mean, Paulie wanted Brooke Davenport to win. And I'm not real familiar with Brooke Davenport.
Blair.
So it was, but that's Paulie's thing. He's our wrestling historian. He knows everything about everybody. So I tried to I was like, sell me on Brooke Davenport. He couldn't. So I wanted Mandy Rose.
Do you think Mandy, if she was to go up to the main roster, do you think she could be as dominant as she has been?
Maybe. Oh, I do want to say that this is the next match coming, not even the match. Do I think Mandy Rose could be as dominant? Maybe. If she brings the same style character, definitely. If they make, but again, this is under Triple H, and she kind of flourished under NXT 2.0. So who knows? I mean, maybe. Who's really on the main roster though right now? Becky, Bianca. It doesn't seem, maybe Bayley go after the title. Like
Rhea should go after it, in my opinion.
Rhea, we'll talk about that too. Daddy Rhea.
She's bad.
So the next match was the NXT Women's Tag Team Titles match. There was no unification here, just the normal titles. Doudrop and Nikki ASH taking on Caden Carter and Katana Chance, formerly known as Casey Catanzaro, the Ninja Warrior lady. So, which is cool. I've loved her since she came out because of the fact she was a Ninja Warrior. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
This was a pretty, textbook boring match, in my opinion. Nothing major was happening. Nobody picked up Doudrop, major feats of strength. The big thing that happened was very late in the match. Gigi Dolan and JC Jane showed up, came running down. Nikki ASH took her attention off of the match to go outside and attack them. And that's when they lost. So I'd probably give it like a B minus. Like, it wasn't that good of a match, but it is what it is. There was a lot of times, bro, during NXT Collide where I had to ask Paulie, who is that?
Really?
Because I've only, I didn't watch NXT UK. It was never really my thing. Either.
And it really, here, it wasn't
exactly
presented. You don't see commercials about it. You don't.
I mean, there's speculation that that Toxic Attraction are going to be moving up to the main roster because Nikki ASH and Doudrop are on the main roster. So maybe them interfering in their matchup is going to start a little feud between Nikki ASH and Doudrop. That's how you get Gigi Dolan and JC up. I mean,
they also bought them up for the women's tag team title tournament.
Now, this match, the main event of NXT Worlds Collide, in my opinion, first of all, let's talk. How do you feel about Brawnbreaker? What are you giving Brawnbreaker on a scale of 1 to 5 pile drivers as an overall wrestler, performer, sports entertainer? What are you giving Braun?
1 out of 5 pile drivers.
1 out of 5 pile drivers.
A 3.
A 3. Okay, so I'm going like 2.53 as well, but only because he can't talk. He's not a talker.
He's got the Steiner voice.
He does have the Steiner voice. He's got the Steiner bark, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
See,
he's got the body.
Like I said earlier in the show,
he's missing a few pieces.
NXT UK has not won any champion or any matches at all, basically. Pretty deadly, but again, they came from NXT UK and they're currently signed to the NXT 2.0 roster. They weren't NXT UK representatives in this match. Tyler Bate, the very first NXT UK champion at 19 years old. He won that belt. So we did some Googling yesterday and it took a while because every time you type in youngest champion, of course, it gives you the youngest WWE champion, which is Randy Orton at 24. Tyler Bate was 19 when he won that title.
Tyler Bate's a beast.
He's 25 now. So 6 years later, and he was the champion again. And he's the first and only 2-time NXT champion, UK heavyweight champion. He came out, he cut a mean promo, and he said the title started with me and it ends with me because NXT UK is no more.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Tyler Bate should have won this match last night.
Just to kind of give it.
Yep. Just for him to get the NXT UK kind of little push over. Hey, we know it's over, but let Tuesday night, let Brawnbreaker, establish his rematch clause and win it. Yeah. Sure. No problem.
I agree.
Tyler Bate, the young man, deserved to win to end his UK career because it was phenomenal. Right. Him and Trent Seven with Mustache Mountain. He beat Ilya Dragunov for the belt here. Like, Ilya Dragunov's no slouch.
Dude, no.
But
did you ever see that match against him and Walter?
Oh, yeah. When he won the belt. Bate was the clear favorite to win by the crowd. And that's my first crowd letdown of the weekend. I have a couple more, actually, for the crowd. The crowd wanted it, and it didn't go the way the crowd wanted it. And I know who you know. I know you know what I'm talking about. But we'll get into it.
Okay.
Like I said, the crowd clearly wanted Tyler Bate to win. He had a couple Tiger Driver 97s. Just couldn't pull off the quick dub, man. Afterwards, they shook hands. Good sports. Overall, pay-per-view, 3.5 pile drivers, in my opinion. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't spectacular. It definitely kept me entertained. I was into it. I wasn't like playing golf on my phone.
So me not being able to watch any of it, would you recommend me go back and watch it?
Huh? Would I recommend you go back and watch it?
Yes.
At least the main event. And the first match. The first and last match of the show. Definitely. Ricochet and Carmelo Hayes was solid as hell. And Tyler Bate and Brawnbreaker was pretty good. And if they're trying to push Brawnbreaker, maybe it'll give you some semblance of, okay, he's not that bad. He needs a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Now that takes me into my point that I had for you because I wrote it down on my notepad when we were talking about Brawnbreaker yesterday.
What if Paul Heyman took Brawnbreaker under his wing?
Yesterday, we were talking about Big E Langston. Big E Langston will never wrestle again. He will never take a bump, he said. So clearly, in my opinion, Big E would make an amazing manager.
He would.
Could you imagine Big E as Brawnbreaker's manager? Hyping up Brawnbreaker? You know what I'm saying? Then Brawnbreaker, all he has to do is kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have to come out and talk. He has to come out and be a machine. Kind of Brock Lesnar-ish.
Do you think Big E would be more like a...
No, it'd be, I'm talking like New Day Big E. Like New Day Big E. Oh, yeah! Let's go! Brawnbreaker! NXT Heavyweight Champion! You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be cool. I'd be okay with that. But, I mean, I think my thoughts, basically, I want to know how you think. Do you think Big E would make a great manager? Like, do you think he could be like, in 10 years, in 10, 15, 20 years, could Big E make that transition from good wrestler to legendary manager?
I think so.
Honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has the charisma to keep himself up there.
He's my favorite member of New Day.
100%. He's the most charismatic member for sure.
Oh, absolutely. You ever listen to the New Day pod? Like,
yeah, I'm not a bunch.
I haven't listened to it in a while, but Big E is hilarious.
Not a bunch. I didn't listen to it a bunch.
Dude's smart as hell. He's nice as hell. Humble as hell.
All right, now let's go into Clash at the Castle.
Which I heard the crowd was insane.
The crowd was lit, son. Lit. One of my buddies, his name's Rob Singleton. I friended him on Facebook through a Funko group. He's English.
Yeah.
He's English. He lives there. He went to Clash at the Castle. I saw pictures. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw pictures from inside on his Facebook. It looked really cool. And on TV, the crowd seemed like a Chicago AEW crowd, dude. They were lit.
I seen they shown Karrion Kross and Scarlett sitting in the crowd.
Karrion Kross and Scarlett were sitting into the crowd, and I thought that Karrion Kross was gonna play into the heavyweight championship match because he was sitting in the crowd right there, front row.
This is weird. It's like, oh, Karrion Kross is here in the building. I
mean, there was a couple matches I loved. You know, obviously Rollins, Riddle. We picked for these. Clash at the Castle.
Was there any new other matches that we didn't pick for?
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't think so.
I know we dropped the ball on All Out on a few matches. And
yeah, people they added matches on Wednesday.
We didn't do a Worlds Collide because we suck. So life.
That's all right. You already know that I would have picked CM Punk. But I think the only match we missed was the kickoff show match. We didn't pick for that one, which was Madcap Moss and Street Profits versus Austin Theory and Alpha Academy. Madcap Moss and Street Profits won. It was C+, B- match. It wasn't nothing special.
Yeah.
They started the show with Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss versus Damage Control. That is the name of this group.
I like that.
Bailey, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. I like it. It sounds good. I'm about Bailey as a heel. She's always played a good bad guy, even ding dong, all that shit.
Did you see the video when she just came back? She was behind
when she was behind Michael Cole.
Yeah.
Ding dong. Yeah.
Hello.
But it was a good match. These ladies put on a good match. I got the win here. This is one of my lone points of the weekend.
Lone points.
Dean kicked my ass, ladies and gentlemen. The rock, paper, scissors, when you thought it was not working in your favor, actually worked in your favor. Like it was, yeah. So I did pick Bailey in this one. I got the win because the heels did get the win. Coming up next was Gunther versus Sheamus for the IC title. It was exactly what you expected. It was two big guys laying hands on each other. Slobber knocker, as Jim Ross would say. Big, beefy men.
Bumping meats.
That's basically what it was. I mean, it was entertaining, but it's just there was not a lot of wrestling moves. There was a lot of chops. Sheamus was real red. Gunther was real red.
I seen his chest.
Gunther did get the win, and
Imperium
showed up. Imperium got back together.
Yes.
That's a lot, because Butch and Sheamus got his little crew, and I don't know what's going to go on. It was a good match. I'd give that match probably the best rating of, storyline, etc. throughout the night.
What happens with Tyler Bate now? Sorry to not jump
back. Exactly. Give him something because he's only 25 years old. All right. Here's your match.
Bring him up and have him and Pete Dunne or Butch be a tag team.
Lil J was upset. He said, give my boy Pete Dunne some respect. I said, yo, his name's Butch.
Give him his name back. His name's Butch.
Everybody else got their names back. Did you see that? Austin Theory is Austin Theory again. He's not just Theory anymore.
Good.
Who else was it? Who was the other one? Somebody else got their name back too.
Shout out to Derek Dillinger for the shirts.
Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle got his name back.
Good.
The next match we had Liv Morgan go against Shayna Baszler as defending her title. You picked Liv. I picked Shayna. It was a pinfall win by Liv Morgan. I mean, it wasn't the best match. She was able to get out of a Kira Fuda clutch. She got power bombed.
Did Shayna look like a killer?
Kinda. Not as much as we wanted. She does the stomping still. She's back to doing the stomping of the limbs, like the fold up on the arm, and that's cool because that always looks like it hurts like crazy. But why would you just lay here with your arm like this and let somebody stomp on it? Like,
that's me.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
You know what? Go ahead and break my arm.
Yeah.
No.
She won. So you got a point there. We didn't get to pick for this match because it got announced on Friday. Edge and Rey Mysterio versus Judgment Day.
So it was almost a rumor, just no Beth Phoenix.
Which was almost a rumor, exactly. So Edge showed up wearing a mask. All right. He came out wearing this luchador mask.
Which I love it. Respect the Rey. Maybe.
Yeah.
That shit looked tight.
It looked tight. It looked like it was squeezing his brains out of his head.
I mean, it was a cool mask.
It was a cool mask.
That shit looks so uncomfortable, bro.
The big thing here with this match, and I'm sure as our fans and followers are listening, they're following around. You watched it. The big story here is Dominic Mysterio joining Judgment Day.
Never trust a man that don't trust his own sideburns.
I mean, he kicked Edge in the crotch. Like
in the sack.
Like he just kicked him right in the balls, dude. And then he hit Ray with the clothesline.
Was he walking around in his socks during that whole time?
It looked like it. I don't know if he had like white shoes on, but it looked like he had socks on.
What are you doing? We were in socks. Oh, that's weird.
I don't know. Him turning was a lot. Something we all knew was coming.
Yeah, it felt
but like now,
it felt like waiting for Julia Hart to join House of Black.
What happens with him though? Does he play like Rhea Ripley's little puppy dog? Like he's following her around, doing whatever she wants, kind of like Butler Boy and Mega. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how do they play Dominic Mysterio now? Because he's definitely the lowest wrestler on that totem pole in that group. He's horrible compared to the other four or the other three. But
I feel like that's the only way that it'll work.
Exactly. Like he's got to be like the Butler Boy, and they're teaching him the ropes.
Rhea's got him.
Yeah.
So
next match, my favorite match of the night and my last point of the evening. Seth Rollins versus Matt Riddle. Okay, so first off, Matt Riddle came out looking like Patrick Starr. He had Patrick Starr tights on, and whatever. They were okay. They were dogging him on Twitter. And then
I wouldn't.
Seth Rollins comes out looking like the Flaming Demon. Like he had this headpiece on with these horns and these big like fiery wings, like he was Katniss Everdeen from fucking Hunger Games. Like,
if I'm not mistaken, it might have been tribute to Elton John.
Okay, maybe it was. I don't know.
Look that up.
It looked okay. I wouldn't say it was the coolest drip he's ever wore, but
no. But he pulled it off.
Of course he did. Of course he did. He's fucking Seth Rollins. I mean, it was a good back and forth match. Obviously, we know the history on Monday night. These dudes were talking smack to each other, dropping F-bombs. at each other like on live TV. And speaking of that, I heard a Triple H quote where he said, I'm not going to give you TV 14 product. I'm going to give you a TVMA product on a TV PG rating, which means we'll get Riddle saying, I'm going to come beat you up, bro. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? You just won't see it or you won't hear it. So it'll still be PG. That censorship, that how Triple H, works that censorship around is going to be very crucial for them.
I agree.
Because that segment between them two backstage, chef's kiss. It was awesome.
Did you look at his interview on Bleacher Report?
Whose?
Triple H.
No, I didn't read the whole thing or nothing.
Oh, it was like an hour-long interview on YouTube. He hinted a few things. He talked about possibly like The Rock fighting Roman.
Mm-hmm. That's what we called that last night. I called that last night because Paulie said that it's got to be Cody at Mania now because, of course, he wanted Drew. And, I mean, so we won't even talk about it. It was a great match. It was a great match. Head of the table. But the big point of the match was they made it clear Paul Heyman wasn't there. Jimmy and Jay weren't medically cleared to travel. They were medically cleared, but because of Jimmy's DUIs, he couldn't get a passport. That's what it was. That's what I read. So he wasn't medically cleared, so the Usos weren't medically cleared to come. So Roman was alone. But the bloodline runs deep.
Mm-hmm.
Solo Sikoa, the younger brother of Jimmy and Jay Uso. He was in Cardiff. He made his presence known.
What a debut.
And the tribal chief is still your heavyweight champion at over 700 days. Paul, well, we were talking about it. What do you think? They got to give him 1,000 days now. You got to get him to 1,000 days. He did 720 something days. You got to get him to 1,000 days. And you know where 1,000 days puts him? Right around WrestleMania next year.
Yeah. Which
is in Hollywood. Exactly. It's I hate that people are like, I hate it. But they do hate it until The Rock wins it. Until The Rock comes back and just wins it for one night and then vacates it the next night on Raw or something like that. Because just to show that he's the better one of the two, he's the head of the table, etc. It's what's going to happen. Yeah, but I'm going to enjoy this run with Roman Reigns while I can because it's glorious.
It's getting a lot of hate.
Oh, yeah.
Too. But I think
the match with Drew was awesome.
And you look back at this reign, we're going to appreciate it more than what.
Oh, yeah. In 20 years, you're the head of the table will still be relevant. You remember that time when Roman Reigns just went crazy and destroyed everybody, dude? Yeah. I love it. And there's some people who hate it, like Paulie. It is what it is, but it's a great gimmick. It works. It was a great match between him and Drew. I thought some points Drew was going to win. When he Claymore kicked him, I was like, shit, it's over. Damn it. He won. It was very back and forth. It was very WWE did a good job with Roman Drew on me not knowing who was going to win.
I heard it was really good.
You picked Roman, by the way, so you got the point for that. I won Clash at the Castle 3-2. So, yeah.
All Out went bad?
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
So what would you rate? How many Piledrivers would you rate?
Clash at the Castle? I'd give it a 4. It was a 4.
4 Piledrivers?
It was a 4. I'm not one of the people that was if you were upset with the Roman outcome, Paulie might give it a 2 because Paulie hated the outcome of the Roman Drew match. He was not happy. But Paulie's never happy with anything. Love you, Paulie. But that was it. Let's jump into AEW All Out. That was the pay-per-view of the weekend, in my opinion. We knew it was going to go hard, and it delivered. Started off with a couple pre-show matches that we didn't pick for. Pac defended his title successfully against Kip Sabian, the All Atlantic Championship. He defended. Hook defended the FTW title against Angelo. What the hell is his name from the Jericho Appreciation Society? I forget his last name. Like, I don't have it written down, but I just had it. And then Eddie Kingston finally got a win over Tomohiro Ishii. Like, they call this dude the Stone Pitbull. And Paulie was talking to me about him beforehand and telling me like he was a badass. And we don't see these guys every week, so their names don't resonate with me like somebody like Paulie, who watches probably 60 hours of wrestling a week from every promotion available. But the AEW All Out major pay-per-view started with the casino ladder match. Bro, this match went hard before the Joker came in.
Really?
This match went crazy. Claudio Castagnoli put a ladder like in between, like they had the ladder standing up this way, and he put it in between the rungs. So like they flipped it on its side. It was like a geometric shape. Penta was powerbomb, or Andrade El Idolo was powerbombing people on ladders. Go back and watch AEW All Out if you can. I'll send you the thing to where to watch it. But it was the Battle Royal, or the Battle ladder match was phenomenal. So it's like the Royal Rumble. It's every 60 seconds. They didn't specify, so I'm just going to say 60 seconds. They didn't tell me the rules of how many seconds or whatever. But every equally timed intervals, just like the Royal Rumble, somebody new comes out. Everybody was in the ring. It was time for the Joker to come out, who gets to come out last. The countdown starts. Lights go out. Lights come back on. There's 4 or 5 dudes in the ring beating the shit out of everybody. We're like, what the hell? One of the hooded figures sets up the ladder, climbs to the top, grabs the chip. We're all like, oh, what the hell? Who's this? Because it was a little tiny guy. Pulls the mask off, and it's Stokely Hathaway.
I see
like, what? Me and Paulie looked at each other like, and then all of a sudden it went dark again, and Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones starts playing, which first off, Tony Khan spent some money for that freaking song.
Yeah.
That song plays, and somebody walks out with a devil mask on, horns.
Mask is raw.
The mask is cool. It reminded me of Ghost, the band. You ever seen Ghost, the band? Yeah. Their guitar players had some cool devil masks like that. That's what it reminded me of. But he walks down. Stokely hands him the chip. He holds it in the air, and we're like, all right, cool. Let's see who this is. Nope. But as he's walking up the ramp, he goes, and it's like, that looks familiar. So anyways, night goes on. Joker wins. Neither one of us picked the Joker to win. I picked Daniel Garcia.
I put Danhausen.
You picked Danhausen. So neither one of us picked the Joker. Next match came in to the Trios Tag Team Championships. The Elite, my pick was the Best Friends. They did not win at all. So they didn't win against Dean's pick, who was the Dark Order. So Dean actually made it to the finals, and he had a point on the line here. Unfortunately, fortunately, Hangman did not turn on the Dark Order. He stuck it out with the Dark Order the whole match. He played it. There was not even a point to where he looked at Kenny and was like, maybe. It was him and Kenny.
Did one of the Bucks hit someone with a buckshot lariat?
Yes. Mac Jackson. No, Nick. It was Nick.
I heard it was nice.
Nick did a buckshot lariat to Hangman, and it was pretty. But the Elite, as we know, was gonna get this dub. The titles were basically made for them. Is what it is. They won.
They're the executive vice presidents.
Yeah, is what it is. Hopefully we'll lose soon, but they needed to be the inaugural. In my opinion, it works because as much as people hate the Young Bucks, who was the first AEW tag team champion? SoCal Uncensored or whatever. SCU. It should have been the Young Bucks. Come on. They're the president of the company. It was their time. Like, they were the hottest tag team in wrestling at the time. But they didn't get that honor. So for them to get the I'm okay with them. I'm a Young Bucks lover. It's whatever.
Yeah.
We didn't pick for that match.
No.
I mean, we did, but we didn't win. Neither one of us won. So no points.
Fine.
Now, we're going to go on to the Jade Cargill versus Athena. First off, Jade Cargill came out dressed as She-Hulk, and she looked amazing.
Seen that?
She looked great. Athena had some wings, some new wings, because they crashed. The baddies smashed up her wings. They also looked cool, but not as cool as the fucking She-Hulk. Right. So, ring gear, Jade Cargill won it.
All day.
In my opinion, they made a mistake in this match by not letting Athena win. Because who the hell's going to fight Jade Cargill now? There's no new women. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for Britt Baker to fall. Like, the people that could beat her, Britt Baker, former, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense for them to fall down to the women's mid-card title, in my opinion.
I think Jade's ready to make that leap and go for the
That's fine. All the more reason she should have lost the heavyweight title or the TBS title last night. Because there was a 4-way dance for the AEW interim women's championship.
I mean, she's undefeated. They're not
37-0. Who's going to beat her, Dean? Nobody.
What is she?
3 seconds into the match, Athena hits the Eclipse.
I don't think they want her to lose, though. That's what
exactly.
I'm saying. So if she was to go towards that route, she would probably just. So I'm done with this title,
and she'll just vacate it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, whatever.
And then call out.
But this is the one where you won rock paper scissors, and you got Jade Cargill. So
yeah,
point for Dean. Next match was Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. So this match wasn't as good as me and Paulie thought it was going to be. It was kind of a glorified squash match. Like, it wasn't, 5 minutes or anything like that, but it was basically Powerhouse Hobbs 90% of the match, and Ricky Starks got his ass whooped. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be.
Hobbs won?
Yeah. You picked Hobbs. Well, you lost because we both picked Starks, and you lost so that worked out in your favor.
Yeah.
Next match coming in, also did a rock, paper, scissors that worked out in your favor. Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Christian. And let's talk about this.
I'm still kind of shocked the outcome of this.
Christian comes out. Jungle Boy comes out. He's standing there cheering to the crowd or whatever. Luchasaurus, black Luchasaurus again, not green anymore, because he went black when he was with Christian, and then he came back to green when he was helping Jungle Boy again.
Luchasaurus has pulled off a triple turn.
A triple turn. Like I said that last night. I was like, he's turned more times than the Big Show.
And that's hard to do.
Choke slams basically just destroys Jungle Boy before the match even starts. Like, there was no point in Jungle Boy even getting in the ring. He gets in the ring. Christian spears him, goes for the pin, doesn't get the 3 count, picks him up, gives him the kill switch, 3 count. Like, literally squashed Jungle Boy. We both picked Jungle Boy. You lost rock, paper, scissors, but you win the point.
Yes. Let's go.
Now this is the one I want to talk about. Oh, we can get into this one real quick because it was a great match. The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson versus the Lionheart, Chris Jericho. It was good. It was good. Chris Jericho broke out. I saw a lion tamer. I saw the walls of Jericho. He was outside getting frustrated, throwing chairs like the Lionheart. Like, it was good. It was a good match. Nobody interfered. Daniel Garcia did not make his appearance known. He stayed in the back. Chris Jericho won. It was weird. I wanted Daniel Bryan to win. We both picked Daniel Bryan, obviously. You lost the rock, paper, scissors, so you got a point again.
I'm really confused by.
I mean, it's confusing, but it set it up afterwards, because afterwards the Jericho Appreciation Society came out to the ring to celebrate all of them except Daniel Garcia. So then later on in the night, we find out that this Wednesday on Dynamite, Daniel Garcia gets a title shot against Wheeler Yuta for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. Jericho comes out and says, "Where were you tonight? You didn't come out and celebrate with me, when I beat Daniel. So Wednesday, you don't get any help from the Jericho Appreciation Society." we're not going to be in your corner. And he's like, this is the biggest match of my career. Chris, you're my mentor. I need you in my corner. And Jericho's basically like, and it's like, oh, okay. So that's, maybe that's why Jericho won, so they can play this out. Whatever. Bryan Danielson didn't need the win. You know what I'm saying? He's okay to take that loss. That's fine.
Yeah.
But we both picked Bryan.
It does not hurt him at all.
Yeah. All right.
Confused by it? Yes.
This one right here, buddy. Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed. So first of all, the Acclaimed has a new shirt out that says "Scissor me, daddy ass," and it's hilarious. And Billy Gunn was wearing one. Okay, Max Caster came out and compared Keith Lee to Lizzo. Said, "Why is he wrestling Lizzo?" It was.
He did not.
Oh, he did. The Acclaim. The crowd for the Acclaimed in this match, Dean, was deafening. Deafening.
They're over as hell.
Tony Khan missed a major opportunity to put the belts on them last night. It was ridiculous, dude. It was ridiculous. They were so over. Everybody wanted scissored. Everybody's, and they put on a good match. Anthony Bowens got hurt, and he still did some sweet moves, even though he was hurt. It was a great match by all four men involved. In my opinion, Acclaim should have won. There needs to be a breakup of Swerve and Keith Lee because they're both singles wrestlers. They're not a tag team.
No.
Paulie said this last night. The only thing they have in common is that they're both African-American wrestlers. That's it. They're both solo wrestlers that they just kind of squashed together.
It was cool at first to see them together,
but yeah, now they're the tag team champions. They got their little belt. It gave each one of them a little legitimacy after leaving NXT, in my opinion. So whatever. I actually I think I lost that rock, paper, scissors because we both picked the Acclaim. So I got a point for Swerve and Keith winning. The next match, you had Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. Banger of a match. I mean,
I seen the little girl came out.
I was just about to say, so Sanjay Dutt comes out and he changes his shirt, and FTR has a shirt right now. I'm going to plug the hell out of this. Go on over to Pro Wrestling Tees. Buy the shirt. It says fight like an 8-year-old girl. It's an FTR shirt, but 100% of the proceeds are going towards the American Heart Association. Go buy the damn shirt. Cool. It's a sweet shirt.
I'm about to look it up right now.
So he comes out. Sanjay Dutt comes out though wearing this shirt, and he has crossed out "fight like an 8-year-old girl," and it now says "fight like an 8-year-old brat." Real big all over his thing. So of course FTR's pissed. FTR's music hits. They come out with all the belts, and then Dax looks towards the thing. Here comes his daughter. She comes out. She gives a little wave. She stands there with him for a second, and then she goes back in the back. Match goes on. Really pretty decent match. I'd probably say it was better than this trio's match was better than the trio's title match.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, but it's the Young Bucks. They just did a bunch of kicks. Everybody did a bunch of super kicks. There was a point, though, in the Young Bucks match where Johnny Hungy and the Young Bucks and Adam Silver, they did a 4-way super kick. He kicked him, he kicked him, he kicked him, and he kicked him all at the same time, and they all kicked each other and went down. It was really cool.
It worked?
Oh, yeah, it looked great. But this trios match was really solid. FTR and Wardlow obviously came away with the dub. You got the point there. But the highlight of the match was the little girl coming out at the end and pinning Sanjay Dutt. Not a sanctioned match, but a referee sure as hell got in the ring and counted that 1, 2, 3 for that little girl when she put her foot on him. So it was really good. Heartfelt moment. I as a father, I always get the sense for the kids, when they do the kid things.
I'm trying to find this shirt right now.
Last match besides the heavyweight championship match, we have the 4-way dance. Jamie Hayter, Hikaru Shida, Britt Baker, Toni Storm. It was a pretty good match, but in my opinion, it went too long. It was a little more drawn out than it needed to be. with the Jamie Hayter fighting Britt Baker and, against each other, et cetera, et cetera.
I really wanted Jamie Hayter to win.
But you did pick the winner. Toni Storm is your new interim women's champion. She will fight Thunder Rosa sometime in the near future.
Yeah.
And then the final match of the night, CM Punk versus Jon Moxley for the AEW Heavyweight Championship.
How do you feel about this match?
It was a banger. I loved it. CM Punk looked great. He came out in the white trunks. He had white pants on, white pants trunks, and they looked great. There's a CM Punk flag that they got on Pro Wrestling Tees that says "We Are Chicago." That was awesome.
I've seen that.
It looked cool. Like his shirt, "We Are Chicago," just looked cool. Of course, because they're in his home city, he's, giving pops to local teachers who, got Teacher of the Year awards and stuff like that. Great match. CM Punk was bleeding 3 seconds into it.
God, he's almost as bad as Ric Flair.
Jon Moxley didn't even bleed this match.
He's just as bad too. That's surprising.
Yeah, but it was CM Punk this match. He did hit a couple GTSs. We did not get a paradigm shift. We got the brain killer, I think he calls it, or something. Paulie was telling me about it last night. It looks exactly the same, but he flips him over instead of doing the DDT. It was what he called it in New Japan, what he won the US title with.
God, is it
brain dead? Something. It's a brain buster. It's a rollover brain buster.
I'm trying to think what the name was.
But CM Punk wins. But again, the major story of this is after CM Punk wins, he's sitting in the ring with the title. The lights go out. A promo pops up on the screen of CM Punk when he won the Ring of Honor championship. And it says, "The greatest trick the devil ever told was convincing the world that he didn't exist." And then the screen goes black again. And this devil walks up, the Joker walks up on the screen, kind of looks there for a minute, does a little like Jurassic Park head turn kind of deal, like this.
Yeah.
Turns around, takes the mask off so you see his hair. And when you see his hair, you know who it is. But then he throws the Burberry on his neck, and we know at that time that it's Maxwell Jacob Friedman is back. They played a clip, too. I forgot about this. So they played a clip that was basically MJF and Tony Khan having a conversation on the phone. And MJF was like, "You need me." And Tony Khan was like, "Yeah, come back. I'll pay you." And it went beep, 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 and like bleeped out the amount of money. And like, it was crazy. Like, it was basically like Tony Khan was begging MJF to come back. And MJF used it. So took it off, threw the scarf on, walks out. His music hits. The MJF music hits. He walks out still in the devil gear, but with the scarf on, looks right at CM Punk, does the belt, and then flips off the crowd. And then flips off everybody.
Yes.
The only thing that could have made that moment better, because Paul, I thought the poker chip was like a Money in the Bank type deal. It's not. It's Tony Khan sets up a match. So yes, you get a title match, but you don't get to choose when it is. You just get a title match.
Oh.
So like Tony Khan sets up the title match. Maybe it's at Full Gear. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows? But it would have made it better if it would have been, because CM Punk and Moxley went to war. If it would have been a Money in the Bank, and MJF would have came out and cashed in the poker chip and just real quick, just drop CM Punk, salt of the earth. CM Punk taps out. MJF walks out of All Out with the title. Would have been a way better ending, in my opinion. And that's coming from a CM Punk fan.
That'd be gross.
So we'll see how it goes.
I'm glad he's back.
I'm super glad he's back. I'm actually pretty excited that he didn't go to WWE. Even saying with Triple H here, I still think WWE would have watered down his character a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah. Because the people at USA, bro, have a say into what WWE does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One half, like I forget the percentages, but it's owned by Shahid Khan, which is Tony Khan's dad.
Yeah.
And Ted Turner. Ted Turner owns the network. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll say whatever the fuck he wants. Like, he doesn't care. He'll take the fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is, I think, how Max Caster can get away with some of the stuff he says in these raps. Because he be flaming dudes.
He does, dude. He says some shit. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah. Like I said, he called Keith Lee Lizzo last night.
That's wild.
So, coming in at the end of the new month, or the start of the new month so far with the banger of the weekend, the score is 8, Dean, to 5, Mike. Ooh. So you got me by 3, Big Daddy.
Let's go.
You got me by 3, and we got OCW Redemption to pick for. Yep. So we got at least OCW Redemption. I'm not sure we're having any more pay-per-views in this month. I don't think so, actually.
Unless TNA has one.
Yeah, unless Impact has one.
TNA just got. I think that's it, really. So I want to know your opinion on this. So we talked about this before the show. The reports that there was a backstage brawl.
Oh yeah.
All Out.
The next pay-per-view is not till October. The next pay-per-view is not till October 8th, by the way. It's Extreme Rules.
Billy.
Yep.
Extreme Rules I went to sucked. It's so bad. So after, I don't know if you got to see clips of CM Punk and Tony Khan post.
After this, you're talking about the media scrum.
Yes.
I did not see any clips of it, but I heard there was a massive fight.
Yeah. Basically, CM Punk said something along the lines like, you know how the Bucks and Kenny are executive vice presidents?
Yep.
Instead of calling them by name, he just called them EVPs and was basically saying that he has issues with them.
Yeah.
And apparently, after they finished that up, they were back. Kenny and them were back there ready to confront Punk. And shit just got crazy. I heard Punk was throwing fists at the Bucks. I read that
one of the Young Bucks got knocked out.
Got hit in the face with a chair, hit him in the eye.
And then I read that the Young Bucks, it was either the Young Bucks or Kenny Omega, they were ready to walk out. Like, they were ready to quit their position.
I didn't hear that.
So, I mean, again, I don't know how truthful it is. You know, I don't know how truthful it is. So we'll see.
I heard Kenny got bit.
Kenny got bit?
Bit.
Like bitten.
Arr. Bit. So I'm kind of curious what happens. It just went public. Sean Ross Sapp revealed that on Fightful. I'm curious. It's been out for probably 2-3 hours, the news of this happening. Could someone possibly leave? Is there going to be a suspension?
Ooh, I don't know. We're going to have to see how this plays out because
Punk being a champion.
Yeah. You're attacking the boss, basically.
Then you're back there fighting everybody. Executive vice presidents. People getting hit with chairs. Fucking getting bit.
Ace Steel out there being crazy in the back. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out. It's freaky because it's like CM Punk's just basically whining again.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because he doesn't need, like, you just won the title, dude. Shut up.
Like, what are you mad about? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just as confused about it as you are.
Yeah,
we got a couple updates for OCW before we get out of here. We got Redemption coming up. You got a couple matches that have actually been announced already. We got Kenny Cash will be in action. We don't know who against who. I don't have that information, but it says he will be in action on September 17th at Kim Tam Park. We have the debuting Wilbur Whitlock will challenge Chuck the Truck Morris for the Ohio Heritage Championship.
Why would he do that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's not smart on his part. Look, and it's funny because it's funny when Chuck laughs at stuff on face, like Chuck laughed at it. We have the Beast Man making his OCW return to go one-on-one with the one and only Lord Thomas, the Brute. Sorry, Beast Man. Off with his head.
Yes.
We have a personal vendetta. This one is actually probably going to be match of the night. And I'm upset that I'm not going to be able to make Redemption this time because the Entourage, Brandon Fields, and Crosshairs Kelly in a tag team match versus James the Baker Hickey and Pat the Bruiser.
Ooh.
James the Baker Hickey and Pat the Bruiser are brothers in real life.
Yeah, I just recently found that out.
We recently found this out, and he came to help his brother against Crosshairs Kelly at Beach Bash. So this could be a banger. Like I don't know how this is going to go down. This will probably be, like I said, this will probably be match of the night, in my opinion. We have no word on a heavyweight championship. Oh, yes, we do. I take it back. Jake Ely will be going one-on-one with Espiritu Maya for the Ohio Heavyweight Champion, Ohio Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
It's going to be a good match.
It should be a good match, but call, baby. Call. Yeah, so that's it. We'll keep everybody informed as more matches coming up. I actually heard some stuff about Mega today, so we'll talk about that too. Mega had a good big Tuesday Turmoil show, 1 year anniversary. All the titles were on the line. It was a great show if you got to tune in on Facebook. You can go back and check it out, actually. So Mega's doing some big things. I saw from Brandon today that he got some news that made him squeal. So we'll see what they got going on, because something big sounds like it's in the work at Mega. I do know that Ashton Day, the Mega Heavyweight Champion, will be at Circle 6 in Cleveland on my birthday, September 10th. So he will actually be in Detroit the night before as well, with Circle 6. So Ashton Day's out here doing big things. I'm excited to go to Circle 6. Are we going to Circle 6?
I think.
Okay. We'll figure it out, because I'd like to go.
I would like to go too.
We got all kinds of stuff that day.
Yeah. Atticus Kogar could be coming back.
And a party in Sandusky, probably.
Atticus is fighting. Well, there's multiple people. There's a 4-way ladder match going
the night before, right?
To Detroit.
Yeah. So we don't know who the champion's going to be.
For the inaugural Circle 6.
So we might get to see the first ever Circle 6 champion the next night. But that's about all I got. Do you got anything else for the people here?
No, just give us a follow on all our social medias. Go to believeitmedia.com, believeitmediallc.com. Apologize. Give us a like, share, follow us on YouTube. Be good, drink water, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.